You serve as the ranking Republican on the House Early Learning and Human Services Committee. What's been going on in that committee since session started?
Well, that's a committee that deals obviously with our folks with developmental disabilities, and then of course the whole early learning initiative. So we've been just hearing bills that have to do with social and emotional behaviors and some of the things that early learning deals with. And we'll be hearing the Early Start bill, which is a big bill, and it's going to be an expensive bill. But when we're trying to promote quality early learning in this state, we need to really step up and do that, because I don't think we want to pay for anything but quality. And when it comes to our child care venues, we also would like to instill in our operators and those providers the importance of early learning in a quality venue, and we will try to empower them to do that by offering them some resources through the state. So there will be an expense, but I think it'll be an expense that pays off very well. We're getting a great return on investment for our early learning efforts, and I'm hoping we can keep moving that ball forward. It's gotten very popular with folks around the state. I think they understand that when we're investing resources through the state, sometimes investing in our young families and helping empower our parents to be better parents and really get behind their kids' education, I think that's vitally important, and I think we're seeing a great return on investment, far more so than the money that we've been spending in the K-12 system.
There's been a lot of news about the House and Senate modifying a rule that now disallows people from openly carrying a firearm in the galleries on the Capitol campus. What have you been hearing from folks back home about this?
Well, actually, I haven't heard a lot from folks back home, but when the rally took place on the Capitol steps last week for Initiative 594, I had some of my constituents actually stop by for a visit, and we had a nice discussion. I totally support our Second Amendment rights. I don't think that criminals really pay attention to laws that we pass, and so I'm more concerned about making sure that we can maintain our Second Amendment right, but I also was a little dismayed at some of the displays that happened up in the House gallery. There were guys that were openly carrying, and frankly, not just doing that, they were actually pointing their guns, aiming their guns, and came off quite threatening. And when you're sitting down on the House floor and you've got the galleries up above you and you've got folks that are packing guns and behaving like that, they actually canceled session that day. There was grave concern by a lot of the members that they just didn't feel very safe in that environment. So I know that it is legal to do that, but I also would hope that people would be smart about how they do that. I have no objection to someone with a concealed permit or even carrying an open gun, but I think that you have to do that responsibly, and I think there were some bad actors that chose not to be very responsible in their behaviors in the gallery that day.
You've signed on to a bill that would allow certain educational institutions to receive a permit that would allow for students under the age of 21 to taste alcoholic beverages. Can you tell me more about this?
We have an enology and viticultural school in Walla Walla at our Walla Walla Community College. Obviously, we're doing some great things with wines in this state, and we've got students who are very anxious to be involved in that industry. And yet, in trying to teach them how to become involved as a viticultural enology student, I think the ability to be able to taste what it is you're making, or at least get some understanding of that, is there. You know, these kids aren't even allowed to swallow this stuff. They can just kind of taste small amounts. It's a very simple little law just saying it's okay to do that if you are a student of those disciplines. So it just makes sense to me. I don't think we're talking about pouring gallons of alcohol down minors. Certainly not. It's just a matter of these students should have the ability to taste the product that they're in fact working on. I'm Representative Maureen Walsh, and I always appreciate hearing from you and welcome your ideas, comments, and feedback. If I can ever be of assistance to you in any way, please let me know by calling, writing, or sending me an email. I also encourage you to sign up for my email updates from my website, which is on your screen. Thanks for taking the time to listen today. It is an honor to be your state representative.